What option can you use to apply Git configurations across your entire Git environment? A -- all. B -- update. C -- master. D -- global. And correct answer is option D -- global. Git stores all the global configurations in a git config file, which is located in our home directory. To set these configuration values as global, add the -global option, and if you omit the -global option, then our configurations are specific for the current Git repository. A Git tree object A can only contain references to blobs. B can only contain references to other tree objects. C can contain references to other tree objects or blobs. D can contain file data or references to other tree objects or blobs. And correct answer is option C, can contain references to other tree objects or blobs. A Git tree object creates the hierarchy between files in a Git repository. You can use the Git tree object to create the relationship between directories and the files they contain. These endpoints allow you to read and write tree objects to your Git database on GitHub. Which of the following is not a valid option for credential.helper setting? A. Temporary. B. Store. C. Cache. D. No value, default. And correct answer is option A, temporary. Git will sometimes need credentials from the user in order to perform operations. For example, it may need to ask for a username and password in order to access a remote repository over HTTP. It can be cumbersome to input the same credentials over and over. Git provides two methods to reduce this annoyance. 1. Static configuration of usernames for a given authentication context. 2. Credential helpers to cache or store passwords, or to interact with a system password wallet or keychain. What is the full form of Git? A. Global International Track. B. Global Information Traffic. C. Global Information Tracker. D. None of the above. And correct answer is option C, Global Information Tracker. The Git full form is Global Information Tracker, a powerful version control system widely used for software development and other collaborative projects. Git allows multiple developers to work on a project simultaneously while ensuring that their changes do not interfere with one another. Which command is used to show limited number of commits? A. Git log-f. B. Git log-n. C. Git config-n. D. Git log status. And correct answer is option B, Git log-n. For example, Git log-n3 will display only 3 commits. Condense each commit to a single line. This is useful for getting a high-level overview of the project history. Sparse checkout allows you to A. init only the main submodule of the repository. B. Check out a branch from the repository without some of its commits. C. Clone a remote such that you get a working copy but no repository, no .git folder. D. Check out only some files from the repository into your working copy. And correct answer is option D. Check out only some files from the repository into your working copy. Git sparse checkout reduce your working tree to a subset of tracked files. This command is used to create sparse checkouts, which change the working tree from having all tracked files present to only having a subset of those files. It can also switch which subset of files are present, or undo and go back to having all tracked files present in the working copy. When in a sparse checkout, other Git commands behave a bit differently. What is the command to set the user email for the current repository? A. Git config user.email. B. Git config email. C. Git email.user. D. None of the above. And correct answer is option A. Git config user.email. What is Git primarily used for? A. Creating web applications. B. Tracking changes in source code and managing version history. C. Managing databases. D. Running server-side scripts. And correct answer is option B. Tracking changes in source code and managing version history. Git is used primarily by developers to manage their source code. Git records changes to files over time, while ensuring the integrity of those changes at each stage of processing. Users can revert to earlier versions and compare different versions at the file level. What does the term commit mean in Git? A. To submit a bug report. B. To send code to a remote server. C. To record changes in a repository. D. To merge two branches. And correct answer is option C. To record changes in a repository. Commits can be thought of as snapshots or milestones along the timeline of a Git project. Commits are created with the git commit command to capture the state of a project at that point in time. Git snapshots are always committed to the local repository. Which git command is used to create a new branch? A. Git create. B. Git branch. C. Git commit. D. Git checkout. And correct answer is option B. Git branch. Git checkout works hand in hand with Git branch. The git branch command can be used to create a new branch. When you want to start a new feature, you create a new branch of main using git branch new_branch. Once created, you can then use git checkout new_branch to switch to that branch.